Hello, friends. It's Thursday. Today's communion story is a little bit different, and it's a little bit hard. It's a hard communion story to not for us to read, but for the people of that time. It was a hard teaching to accept. I mean, for Jesus to come out and say something like, "I tell you the truth, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you cannot have eternal life within you. But anyone who eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life and will rise, and I will raise that person on the last day." That's some pretty difficult teaching that Jesus was laying down. Now, in hindsight, we can totally see what Jesus is talking about there, that he's talking about communion and the Last Supper, and it's easy for us to understand. But the people that would have heard that at that time, that would have been a very difficult teaching. And if you read down a little bit further, I only had you read through verse 59, but if you go down further, you can see that the disciples and Jesus had a little bit of a disagreement after this. It says, Jesus was aware that his disciples were complaining. So he said to them, "Does this offend you? Then what will you think if you see the Son of Man ascending to heaven again?" Almost like Jesus is saying, you're going to understand this eventually, so quit complaining right now and just listen like I've told you to do. And then a little bit further down it says, "At this point, many of his disciples turned away and deserted him. Then Jesus turned to the 12 and asked, 'Are you also going to leave?' And Simon Peter replied, 'Lord, to whom would we go? You have the words that give eternal life. We believe and know you are the Holy One of God." What great faith Peter is showing here, because he clearly does not understand what Jesus is teaching. I don't think anybody could really understand what Jesus is saying here, but he is just showing great faith and is going to continue to follow Jesus even though he doesn't understand. Again, in hindsight, we completely understand what Jesus is saying here, but for the disciples at that time, this would have been a very difficult teaching that Jesus is giving, and something that they did not understand and that they would not understand until after Jesus had died and been resurrected. Thank you for joining me today. Again, I cannot believe that October is here, that fall is here. Let us try not to grumble and complain, and just be happy for the things that we have. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.